No, baby. I'm gonna go home.
We're gonna get, when I get an LOL on my birthday, I'm gonna share with you. And I'm gonna get LOLs like you. What about me? Because anytime I share LOLs with you,
Gotta let the people cross, you know what I mean?
LOLs like you too.
Ah, man.
Is this water? No one finished the water.
What's up, y'all?
What's up, y'all?
Snap Turtle.
Snap Turtle.
Back in the van with his kids.
Back in the van with his kids.
Yep.
Back in the van.
As you can see.
As you can see.
Salute.
Salute.
What's up, Derek?
What's up, Derek?
Think you funny?
Think you funny?
All right, so
Alright, so.
I gave y'all my greeting for the morning, for the day. So now I just have a question. So, let me start with this. Apparently, Black children matter. That's right. Even though they're not showing you on the, they're not showing you up. They're not showing that you're watching. You see how they play games? So now, Derek, I know you been getting my notifications, but a lot of people haven't. But it's all good, you know what I'm saying? They're gonna let some people get them. So hit that like button, Derek, when you come up in here. Even though they might not show it. But I'm pretty sure you automatically do it every time. So, some breaking news. Apparently, video surveillance has surfaced showing Bow Wow and his girlfriend in an elevator, like right before the domestic violence incident began. Now, from what I saw in the video, it looked like Bow Wow was being quite aggressive with his girlfriend, and she was just standing there chilling. She was like, she wasn't saying nothing. She didn't put her hands up. She just stood there, and this dude was walking around the elevator like a caged tiger, taking his jacket off halfway, getting in her face, doing all that, you know what I'm saying, snatching shit out of her hand, and you know, she had some decorum about her. She held her composure. So yeah, he lost. Yeah, exactly. That's what exactly. So it seemed like he was very charged up, and she probably has them hands. Okay, she probably got nice hands and claws. Apparently, she scratched them, but she know how to use them hands. And when you know how to use those hands, and people are in your face like that, you don't have to do all that he was doing. Okay. As a matter of fact, most of the fights I've been in have been when I wasn't the aggressor. The other guy was the aggressor. They were all up in my face, talking and yapping, and I just stood there like this, you know. And usually they got their ass whooped. Okay, 9 times out of 10 they got their ass whooped. But the point is, from seeing that video, it gives me a little bit more context. See, I wasn't going to say anything about this because y'all know how I feel about a man putting their hands on a woman under certain circumstances. Okay? there are only one or two instances where I'll put my hands on a woman, actually strike her, and that's when they're a threat to my children, like a direct physical threat to my children, or mental threat, whatever the case may be. So that's the only time I can see, or any child, not just my child, but any child. That's the only time I can see me actually striking a woman with my knuckles, you know what I'm saying, or slapping them or some shit like that. That's me though. And I can't promise you that if I see somebody on the street, see a dude striking a woman on the street, that I won't jump in and strike him too. You know, I can't promise that I won't do that. You know, that's how I'm built. That's, you know, that's just real shit. I'm not gonna change. It's not gonna change, because I'm gonna tell you what. I've been in domestic violence circumstances when I was in the Army. My wife, my ex-wife, decided that she was gonna throw hot water on me because her friend came over the house with her titties out and her ass out. Wasn't my fault. Check your friend, okay? Yeah, she asked if I was looking at her like that. I was like, yeah, she's a nice body. So she threw hot water in my face. I threw cold water back in her face, and then she proceeded to striking me. So, you know, I had to defend myself. Of course, I restrained her. I held her down. None of the blows that she gave me hurt. Okay, hard as she might try to hit me her hardest, it just didn't hurt. It didn't. You know what I'm saying? And I had the wherewithal and the training and the skills to lock her ass up and restrain her. You know what I'm saying? Because she had called the police during the scuffle, so I had to restrain her until the cops showed up. Okay, but when they saw that I had scratches on my face from the pot handle, because she hit me so hard with the pot in the head that the handle broke off. Okay, now she hit me in the hard part of the head, so it didn't hurt. And then she started punching me, she scratched me in the face, whatever. It didn't hurt, you know. So I didn't feel like she was a threat to me. So I restrained her. But from what I saw in that video, it looked like the aggression that Bow Wow showed was just the tip of the iceberg. That when they got in that house, he probably got a little more aggressive, and she had to defend herself. And now the question is, was he a victim, or can he just not fight? It could be that he just can't fight, and he got his ass whooped by a woman trying to be super aggressive. Now, you know how nowadays you got dudes saying, oh, if you run up on a nigga, be prepared to get hit by a nigga like a nigga. Well, guess what? He ran up on her. Damn, Lisa stabbed me in 1887. I deserved it. I reached for the knife like, ooh wee. Okay, Derek. Yeah, you probably deserved that if you reached for the knife. Oh, you reached for the knife while she had it. Okay, I don't know what happened. You got it. See, this is why I would like to do a hangout. You can better give me some context on that situation. Matter of fact, we got to talk about that. But yeah, I had my ex-wife tried to stab me in Texas. You know, she tried to hit me with a hammer. I disarmed her. of the hammer. I disarmed her of the knife. And she got a few licks in with her fist. But when I had enough, I grabbed her around her full throat, pushed her down on the couch, and drove the back of her neck into the couch with half of my strength, just to show her how much damage I could do to her if I wanted to. And her ass, guess what happened? She calmed down. Anyway, so now I don't know what happened in that apartment, right, with his girl and Bow Wow, but I do know that he was very aggressive in her face, yip yap yapping. Okay, could be that he just got his ass whooped. I don't feel bad for him. You know what I'm saying? Because listen, she may be a woman, but she might have got tired of him talking shit in her face. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all like some of y'all niggas like to say, oh, if you get in a man's face, blah blah blah, right? Well, guess what? He got in a woman's face and blah blah blah. Okay, so let's not be hypocrites. Okay, in that regard, and let's not use that double standard. All right. Now that we have more information, what do we have to say about it? Well, this is what I have to say. I've seen Bow Wow in videos getting into altercations, and I've seen him in some altercations. I've seen somebody. Now, see, I will give him that. This was like a cold cock, right? Dude came out of nowhere and punched him, but he flew like 12 yards. Bow Wow does not seem like he's a fighter, all right? And what I believe is he got a little, he was feeling himself because it was a woman, you know, possibly, and he felt like he could, you know, push her around physically. But it, you know, she ain't small. She wasn't small. She was like a little bit taller than him, even though she had some heels on, and she was thick. Okay, beautiful woman, but thick. So don't get them thick women twisted. They do got some strength behind them. They're not stronger than me. Okay, but it looks like she wasn't taking this shit. Nigga, he got scratched up, beat up. You know, so all these people coming out feeling bad for him. To me, is just all these. I mean, I've been seeing it way too much. I've seen videos where dudes are egging dudes on to make the woman hit him, so that he can hit her back and all this other stuff. Okay, you stand there and you allow a woman to be in your face. You know what I'm saying? You stand there and instead of walking away, you start rah in her face as well and doing certain things, and then you're just waiting for that woman to touch you so that you can haul off and hit her with all your might. That's punk shit. Okay? You know what I'm gonna do if it's not my wife, not my new wife? She hit me before, but you know, she was very angry. She was hormonal and pregnant, and I was trying to talk to her. She didn't want to talk, and she hit me with a cell phone and hit me with ice cream, with a carton of ice cream. Okay, so, but again, she was pregnant, hormonal, and I did not have to hit her. What I did was I shoved her down. I shoved her onto the bed so she can calm down, and then I walked away. Okay, so, you know, and you know what? I was in her face at that time because she wasn't listening. She wasn't trying to. I was trying to reason with her. This was our first pregnancy. I did not know how. I did not have experience with dealing with pregnant women, and she was just wigging out, you know. And I was in her face, like, calm down. Like, no, you gonna talk to me? You gonna talk to me? I was trying to get her to talk to me. Okay, trying to get her to talk to me. She didn't want to talk. She wanted to get out the room. When I wouldn't get out of her way, she hit my ass. I deserved it. Get out of her way, right? You know. But most of y'all dudes nowadays, I don't know what it is. There's no men of honor anymore. So much. There's not so many men of honor. But I feel like some of y'all millennials and whatnot would have punched her in the stomach and, you know, all kind of shit, and she would have had a miscarriage and all kind. See what it is you have no self-control. Okay. Bow Wow didn't have any self-control. That woman had more self-control than he did. Okay? And so, for that, he got his ass whooped because, listen, there's only so much control that anybody can have. That's what I feel. Just judging from that video. I mean, y'all can go check it out. Y'all judge for yourself. But you see her in the corner. She's like this. Nope, I'm not dealing with it. They get in that room, ain't no telling what happened after that. Once they got in that apartment building, you know. So, fact of the matter is, Bow Wow can't fight. Just because you can't fight don't mean you're a victim. That just means that you need to learn how to fight. That's my take on it. You know. So I don't know. Bow Wow took an L. He took more of an L when that video came out. I tell you what, man, that video came out. Listen, you was messing with the wrong chick, okay? Yeah, that's just my take on it. I mean, I don't feel. See, when you don't have self-control, and that's what this is all about. This is what the domestic violence is about, right? Domestic violence, and this is a good iSimp topic, okay? When I start my iSimp channel, this is going to be one of my topics about control, having self-control as a man, because that means the difference between domestic violence, no domestic violence, your wife cheating on you, your wife not cheating on you. There's certain ways you have to carry yourself. Way more of an L. Now she's famous. I like her. Shit. I like her. She's cute, you know what I'm saying? And she's tough. But see, this is my thing. With clearly, in my mind, Bow Wow is not a simp. Not my simp. Not standing in his manhood proudly. Because from what I understand, this all started because he thought she was flirting with some other dude. I forgot his name. And so he was like, you ain't about to be flirting with no nigga in front of me. I'm gonna take my key. So this is really about self-control. When you feel like your woman is flirting with somebody, instead of flying off the handle, right? Because I used to be that way. I used to be, first couple girlfriends I had, I would get jealous. And what it did to me, yeah. And those are the type of women I like to tame and have submit to me, because if you can do that, you a beast. Anyway, first couple girlfriends I had, I was jealous. You know what I discovered? It was too stressful. It wasted too much energy. Being jealous wastes way too much energy, okay? And I'm not one to want to waste energy. So if you feel like your woman is flirting, I want you to sit back and think of a few things. Who is she going home with? Okay? And what is flirting doing? Who is that hurting? I know it can be embarrassing, especially if she's overtly flirting, you know. But if a woman is disrespectful in her flirtatious ways, you don't have to tolerate it. All you do is say, look, I don't feel no type of way about it, but you being mad, disrespectful, and I can't have that. Peace. That's how I would handle it. Now, I've never had, after my first couple girlfriends, I haven't dealt with a woman being disrespectfully flirtatious with me, with other dudes. Because once a woman senses the confidence in you, okay, once she sees that confidence, and once she sees that, they might try you, okay? They might try you. Women like to try you with the flirtatious stuff. But once they see that it has no effect, there's nothing you got to worry about anymore. Let me tell y'all a story about my wife right now, K-Bear. So back in the day, she was a Kappa sweetheart, they call her, okay? And, she liked to have fun. She was a kid, 18, 19, 20. She liked to have fun. You know what I'm saying? She hung out with sororities and fraternities. You know how that can go. She was a Kappa sweetheart. And, yeah, she experienced life, okay? She experimented. She experienced life. And my brother is a Kappa, okay? My brother's a Kappa. He's like 2 years younger than my wife. He's younger than me. And he knew Kayla, He knew her more than I did when I started dating her. But when I told him that I was dating her, he was like, oh man, yeah, you can't. She don't like to be locked down. She don't like to be locked down. That's what he said. And I'm like, she ain't fucking with your boy yet. That's what I said. I said she ain't had this yet. You know what I'm saying? That's in regards to what he was saying. Because we had just started dating. And, you know, we've all known her for a while. Like I've known her for a while. She's my best friend's cousin. So, you know, but she experienced life as a young adult away from me and my best friend. And she was hanging out with my brother and his friends in his fraternity more often. Okay? But when he told me that, I saw that as a challenge. I was like, she ain't met the right one yet. Wait till your boy get a hold of her. That's what I told him. And now I got 5 kids with her. Okay? Now I'm not going to say that I started having children with her because I was presented a challenge, because I really did dig her. You know, it wasn't that, but when you exude that confidence, when you exude, you know, you have to know yourself. You have to love yourself. Okay, that's what it's all about. You have to be confident in your abilities and all that. You got to have a positive mindset about the things you can do. And I knew that I could lock her down. I knew without even being forceful. I didn't have to go be all extra with mine. I was just being me. You know what I'm saying? And this is what happens. So when people like Bow Wow, though, they're not confident, okay, in themselves. They don't have that self-assurance. Their self-esteem is shot, okay, for whatever reason, the things that he went through in his life. And I'm not going to completely blame Bow Wow for all this, right? Because Bow Wow was raised in the industry, you know, and we know what happens to kids in the industry that reach the level that he's reached, reach the notoriety he reached at a young age. So, I mean, he's been suicidal, all that stuff. So, in that regard, he had been through a lot that damaged his self-esteem. He didn't know how to get that back. He doesn't have the confidence in himself. So what he did was lash out to his girl for being jealous or for being flirtatious and whatnot. And once you do that, the level of respect that woman has for you goes out the window. I mean, it just drops. So, but in regards to the specific domestic violence situation, I don't feel bad for him, you know. So, and just seeing that video just let me know, like, okay, I'm glad I didn't rush to judgment about what happened, because of course, because she didn't have any marks on her, and because he had all the marks, we're automatically going to assume that he is the one that was the victim. Now we know that's not necessarily the case. So before, and you know, the same thing with Ray Rice, right? When Ray Rice did what he did in the elevator to his woman, everybody was up in arms trying to defend Ray Rice until that video came out. And even then, people still tried to defend him. You know, even though he gave her 2 left hooks from this big ass dude to his little ass wife, and it took him 2 hooks. That's that punk shit, punks. But regardless, yeah, she got in his face. She was drunk. She tapped his big ass shoulder. Come on, a woman taps your shoulder, you want to haul off and hit her? You think that's justification? Come on, man. Come on. What if that's your daughter? Your daughter is a grown-ass woman, and she's mad at you for some reason because you drunk at the bar, and you know she's trying to get you home to your mom, to your wife. You know, and then she gets upset because you're dancing with some chick, and then she turns you around and shoves you on the shoulder. You gonna hit your daughter? What you gonna do? Man, y'all need to grow the fuck up, man. Y'all need to grow up. This is, you a big ass man, and that's a woman. Okay? If I gave a woman, my wife, let's say, like I was saying, when I'm sparring with a woman in the ring, I'm going like 15 to 25%. I can't even go half speed because I'm fast for my size, and when you're fast and you're my size, you can do a lot of damage. Force equals acceleration times mass. Okay, I have a lot of mass behind me, behind my punches, and they're fast. So I have to be real careful when I'm sparring in the ring with a woman. Okay, and I'm talking about a trained fighter. I'm talking about a trained fighter. Now, can you imagine if I gave my wife, who's not necessarily as trained as a woman I fight in the ring? You know, we've been having. I've been wanting to get her trained, but we've been having all these babies. But now, once she snapped back, we're gonna get on it. But anyway, can you imagine my wife? I give her the coldest left hook I could give her. I could probably break her neck. So there's a lot of reasons why I don't agree that men should ever hit women. There's a lot of reasons. It's scientific. It's moral. There's a lot of reasons. It's not just because I think I'm superior to a woman or whatever. It's not just because I'm a gentleman, because I am I'm a gentleman to a degree. It's just because there's no honor. There's nothing I can gain from putting my hands on. I mean, come on now. I would feel like crap if I hit a woman. You know, and I've had women hitting on me. I had my ex-wife. Come on. You know, as much damage as I could have done to her, there are other ways to get a woman to stop hitting you. There are ways to make sure it never happens. You can walk away, especially you out in the streets. I've seen a lot of these things happen in the streets, at bars and clubs, where a man will just refuse to walk away from a random chick that he don't know that's in his face. Should she be in his face? Hell no. Respect women, but life sometimes is a contact sport. Indeed, life is a contact sport. But you have to understand that when you're out in the public and you're coming into contact, if you're doing that contact sport with a woman against a woman, and a man like me is around, you might get contacted back by a man like me. That's just the reality of it. You know, because I've done it. I've done it before. I've done it. I've stepped in, didn't know shit that was going on. All I saw was him hitting her, and next thing you know, he's on the ground, laid out. And I didn't have to know what happened after that. I walked away. That's all I had to do. Because this woman was defenseless. Okay, she had, I mean, it was a big ass dude and a little ass woman, a little petite woman, and he's wailing on her and throwing her against the wall and shit. Come on, I'm supposed to mind my business? No, that is my business, and that's the problem with some people, man. You know, that is my problem. Just like if I see harm coming to children in front of me, I'm not. It's my business. I have to do what I. If there's a car accident and a car rolled over, and you see gas spilling and all that shit and sparks going off, and you know you feel like the car might explode, and you see kids in that car or something like that, you gonna walk away? No, I'm going to do the best I can to make sure that child doesn't explode. You know, that child doesn't get caught in an explosion. I'm going to try to go in there. I'm going to grab her. I'm going to get her out. Him or her out. Anybody. Like, if I can do something, I will. So why would it be any different when you see a big-ass aggressive man slamming and beating on a woman? Why? You know, I just don't get it. I don't get it. Just like I told you, one of my ex-girlfriends, baby daddy put her all up in the hospital, broke her ankle, all kind of stuff. And she's small, and this dude is big. Now I ended up breaking his orbital socket. You know, it is what it is. But it wasn't because of that necessarily. That happened before I got with her. But I did think about that when I had to fight him. You know, I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got no problem stepping in when I see a woman hitting on a man. I mean, a man hitting on a woman. I might even step in if I see a woman hitting on a man. I might get her away from him before he hit her back. See, you can do that too. You can do that. And you definitely don't egg it on when your friend is getting into a conversation with a woman. You don't egg it on and say, oh, wait for her to hit you so you can hit her back. Some bullshit. No, it wasn't a fracture, it was a break. It was a cave-in. Okay? Anyway. You know, it's just, listen. That's how I roll. That's how I roll. You know, and I grew up in Compton. You know, I seen my pops before he got kicked out of the house. My pops used to beat on my mama when I was like 3, 4, 5 years old. I remember that very distinctly. You know, he used to beat on her. And then he walked out by the time I was 5. I had seen him in like 20 years. But there are two things you can take away from that, from experiencing that type of shit. You can say, you can turn out the same way. You can say, you can take that experience and you can ingrain it within yourself, and you can learn to behave just like he did, or you can realize how despicable and disgusting it is and say, I'll never do that to a woman myself. I'll never do that to a woman I love. And that's the route I chose. I chose the other route because there's nothing honorable, there's nothing to gain, there's nothing cool, there's nothing tough about beating on a woman at all, period. Slapping, elbowing, whatever you want to do. Grabbing her up by, you know what I'm saying, like throwing her around, tossing her. Like, come on, get real, man. Jimmy beat on Connie for most of the 1970s. I know that I'm better than my daddy. And that, yeah, me too. And my pops was a boxer, okay? My pops was a professional boxer. He had no business putting his hands on my mama. Well, you know, Derek, unfortunately, I don't talk to my pops. I don't talk to my pops. But you know, he decided that he wasn't gonna be in any of his children's lives. So, you know, he had a bunch of children by a bunch of different women. None of his children have a relationship with him. So that's just the type of man he was. A sociopath, a psychopath. Anyway, Jimmy Fender against our house with his. Holy shit. That's nuts, Derek. I'm sorry to hear that, man. That's crazy. See, that once you start, it's hard to stop that behavior, and it sometimes can escalate. You know. So, and this is why I strongly advocate against putting your hands on a woman under any circumstance. Because the more people defend you, she got in your face and did like this. You know, she did that. She slapped your shoulder. That's okay. You can go ahead and knock her out and put her in the hospital. Go ahead. See, the more you hear that bullshit, the more confident you are in the fact that you it's okay. And then it just escalates. Nah, I'm nipping that shit in the bud right now. I'm saying, you fuck with me, it ain't going down. I ain't rocking with that. I better not ever see it. The funniest thing, beat Connie on Friday and went back to following. Yeah, I mean, that's unfortunate. You know? It's unfortunate. You know, my step-pops, after my dad left, he never put his hands on my mama. And I thank God for that. But he did put his hands on the children. You know, that's another story. That's another story for another day. But yeah, he was very aggressive. My step pops, just an asshole. But he never put his hands on my mama. Anyway, I'm at the house.
And
I know I might show you guys
real bad.
I just uploaded. Thank you for sharing that to everyone, baby. I just uploaded some videos of me at the farmer's market. I might upload some more videos of me showing y'all what I got at the farmer's market, everything that I got. Because I don't shop at the grocery store. I get all my food from the farmer's market for the week, and I get a little bit of snacks from Trader Joe's. That's how I roll. And when it comes to plates and yeah, Whole Foods sometimes. When it comes to plates and things like that, I get that from Costco. Boom, got it all set. Anyway, much love to y'all. Look out for that hangout tonight. Like I said, if you guys go to your creator studio, okay, and you can if you ever want to start, cause see, I'm the one who's starting the hangout live, so I'm the one who's gonna be sending the links or whatnot. But if you want to do your own hangout, you just go to your creator studio to start a live, and it'll have the option down there in the bottom, well, not really the bottom, like the lower third right of the screen. You'll see where it says you can select to do a hangout, do it via Hangouts, because Hangout, Google, YouTube is all the same company, so it's all linked together. All right. So anyway, look out for that tonight. I say between 6 and 8 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Earlier is better, because I know a few of y'all are from the on the East Coast, so I'm gonna try to accommodate y'all. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm earlier, so you know I can do it maybe at 6 o'clock. All right. So yeah, much love to y'all. Get your feet off my food, son. Jesus. Oh, Lord. That means that's a time window. A 2-hour time window. Anyway, much love. Check out that Bow Wow video. He's being real aggressive. I don't feel bad for him. Okay? You know? Anyway, peace out. Well, I do feel bad about his growing up
Peace out.
in the industry.